how are you?
Hi, I'm great, thanks, Alex. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Gabby. So, for those that don't know you, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Gabby Robinson. I am the Director CEO of Empowerdance. I also, Empowerdance is a company that offers national qualifications to studio owners and to students across the globe, predominantly in Australia. And really, we offer Certificate 1 all the way through to Diploma in Dance, Diploma in Music Theatre, Certificate 4 in Dance Teaching and Management, Leadership and Management qualifications as well
Wow.
for studio owners who have already done their dance teaching and management or just need an extra edge on how to, lead their team. So I also am a studio owner and I have a large studio here in South Australia called Mitcham Dance. Mitcham Dance has been running for 36 years. I've been at its helm for 35. I'm not 35. When I took over that studio, I bought the studio for $5,000, 120 students, and within 3 years, I had over 1,000 students that were coming
Whoa.
to us every week. And so myself and my team, who most of them are still with me, they just went on the journey with me, and I actually didn't have any plans. My mum, on the second year of concert season, my mum said to me in the van on the way to the concert, what's your 5-year plan? Come on, let's organise your business
What,
plan. I
what's
was like,
what's a
oh,
5-year plan?
I have no idea. Yeah, so I said, oh, I guess, 250 students within 5 years, or 10, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so within 3 years, it just all appeared, and I ended up with over 1,000 students, which we maintained until COVID hit, really.
Yeah.
And along the way, I've taken over other people's studios because they have wanted to retire and they've just wanted to sort of teach for me. So I've done quite a lot of things that have built my student numbers, my studio numbers, but also my level of interaction within the industry. So I'm a bit about me. I'm a qualified life coach and business coach. I
Oh, I
also
didn't know that. That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I'm a gyrotonic instructor and I am a massage therapist. I don't practice
Oh,
any of these things, but
yes.
in 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 our partnerships with Empower Dance, I practice, well, I don't practice, but I use my skill set in life coaching and business coaching because that's really critical for business owners. And sometimes their team need a bit of, coordination and cooperation, or not even that. They kind of need some guidance. So I take them through processes to build their team and to build the loyalty within their team because sometimes that's what studio owners are kind of missing. I started Empower Dance really, it was about 13 to 15 years ago. Somebody said to me, you should write qualifications. And I'm in South Australia, right? And so there was no full-time qualification, no full-time course
Wow.
in South Australia. And so I went, well, there's a gap in the market, and I'm in the perfect position where I've got the studio space, I've got the manpower, and why wouldn't I create a qualification? So I then kind of went to all of the really big full-time studios around Australia and went, can you share your information with me? I'm not a competitor. I'm in South Australia.
Yeah.
You're
No
elsewhere.
one's in South Australia, so
Exactly. So can you help me out? Well, the big answer was no, no deal at all
oh,
from everybody. And I went, okay, well, I'll do it myself. And little did I know that it would take 2 years of 6 full-time staff members working on all of our policies, all of our procedures, all of the courseware just for Certificate 4.
wow.
And so we went through a big audit process, which was like 3 days of, sitting in a room with people looking down their noses
Yeah.
at all of the documentation. And we got through that. And it was like, wow, this is the most amazing thing. We didn't realize how amazing it was until probably 5 years ago when, we really kind of went, okay, my goodness, we've added certificate 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
knowing that certificate 2 and 3 would be a really great funnel for year 11 and 12 students to be able to
Yes.
get some of their ATAR points, but also some of their their credits, their SACE, which was it was South Australian still. Um, and then maybe 6 years ago, we were at ADF and we launched a partnership program at
Mhm.
ADF, and we had immediately 45 partners jump on in that year. It wasn't necessarily from
Whoa.
ADF, but it was literally in a space of 3 months, 45 partners jumped on and said, yes, we actually want to partner with you. We want to do what you're doing within our studios. And we went, great, let's make it happen. Here's all of our information. We're a really transparent, open book here at Empowerdance. We don't sort of say, no, you can't have access to that, because I'm all about, there's enough information out there, and we're
Yeah.
not competitors, I don't feel.
Mm.
So anyway, we launched that at ADF that year, and off we went. Then of course COVID hit, and
Yes.
it impacted studio owners in a huge way. So obviously, I mean, with our studio, I, I, I grabbed an IT team, and overnight we were locked down from the Monday night, and we had to start again on Tuesday morning. How were we going to do that?
Yeah.
I grabbed my IT team and just went, right, let's organize our 5 studios. So in our office space and in our studio, we kind of set up 5 big screens, and we were instantly online. So we didn't miss a beat as far as the studio was concerned. And we then, we lost a few numbers there, but it was that everybody did, and it was
Yeah.
mainly in the junior sector. But we kind of created a really great program around making that really successful for them. I then realised that there were other people around the country that needed that support. So I rang the gorgeous women at Comdance and said, can I support your members? Because I know that they've got hundreds of members. Can I support your members to be able to do their Zoom classes and transition really quickly? Because I heard that a lot of people then were taking like 2 or 3 weeks off the studio so they could get their head around how to
Oh
make that
wow.
happen.
See, we didn't do Zoom. We like the first because of course I'm in Melbourne. The first one I was like, you know what? We're not gonna do it. The second time though, or second or fourth or fifth or whatever it was, I went and bought a laptop. I was like, right, we're doing this. And like you said, it was like instant. You had to work so quickly to get everything set up. So to do that and then to do for other people as well, that's crazy.
I just thought it was really important that other people could continue their operation as quickly as possible. So I was, really hot on helping them out. And so I just kind of thought everybody else needs support. So why wouldn't I provide that if I know how to do it all anyway? So anyway, so COVID hit, and I just went, well, okay, that side of the business is taken care of as far as the studio is concerned. Now I then had to work out how I was going to manage my cohort of students. I had 25 students booked in for Cert 3. So, and that was an intensive. They were supposed to come into the studio full time for a week during the April school holidays. And I'm like, how am I going to do that? Oh, can I ask them to spend a week with me online? Um, can I ask them to do that? Yes, I can. So I just went, you know what, I'm going to do it. So we did that. And you know what? That cohort was the best group that has gone through, because they had so much fun. They were in their pajamas. We
Ah,
had, competitions to see, who would be, who we'd say, right, tonight is tidy up our wardrobe night. Competitions to see who had the tidiest wardrobe, and I'd send them like a chocolate frog in the mail, like a little chocolate frog in the mail that day to say, well done for tidying your wardrobe. It was just incredible. And so I walked out of that week and went, if I can do that for our studio students and for
mhm.
25 of them in one room and have a huge amount of success and a huge amount of engagement,
Yeah.
why can't I do that for the regional studios that are really struggling with their student retention and that want these programs but don't have the resources or the
Yes.
sophistication to make that happen? So again, I just went, right, okay, we're going to make it happen, and I'm really going to support, because I'm a country girl. I grew up in regional
Oh,
Victoria. Why don't I, reach out and see if I can support those regional people more so than the city people? Because
yeah.
regional students don't get a lot of
They
opportunity.
get left behind.
They do, yeah. And then they're like, well, dance is not achievable for me
Mm,
because it's all about being in the city.
yes.
So I just went, I'm on. I'm going to sort it out. And so from the start of our journey, where I kind of had that first ADF, let's create partnerships, to now we've got about 180 partners across Australia that engage with us every year.
Wow.
We process about 2,000 students a year through the RTO and well, through Empowerdance, which is the RTO, Registered
Yeah.
Training Organisation. But it's really my team, if I didn't have my beautiful team that I've got that are so committed and so loyal to me and to the cause,
Yeah.
um, then I really couldn't really make that happen. But the journey has been, I think it's quite extraordinary. And I know that a lot of studio owners have an extraordinary journey as well, and they've got that
Yeah.
story within them.
But that's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. So let's just recap. So you have a studio of just under 1,000 students. You have Empower Dance, and you have studios partners all across Australia, and you put through maybe about 2,000 certificates each year. That's I know you say like you don't like the word busy, but that's a lot.
It sounds really epic. And on top of that, we've just launched Dance Aid, which is Australia's first aid for dancers, specifically for studio owners, specifically for dancers, and it's the nationally recognised qualification. So instead of, when you go to St John's or other,
Yeah.
other first aid certificates, it's all very generic.
What was the pivotal point for you to start Dance Aid?
Great question. I took 20 of my team members through first aid probably 2 years ago. And it was like, oh my gosh, it was like watching a car wreck,
Oh no.
but just in slow motion. Like this, we watched the videos and everybody, like we were all in different places. We watched it at home. And
Yes.
when we came together to do the CPR part of it, we all came together and went, oh my goodness, what did we have to watch all of that? We actually didn't learn anything. And I went, well, that's ridiculous. I've spent, $120 on every one of you to go through, and we really didn't learn very much. And the trainer came into the studio to take us through the CPR and just to give us a refresher on the first aid. And we were like, and I've got some highly intelligent team members who've done first aid before, and we were still like going and ah.
Yeah.
I just went, this is absolutely crazy. And so Caitlin, she and I were having a conversation, and I just said, oh, would you be interested in creating first aid with me to sit alongside all of our other qualifications? And she went, oh, I love that. I love training and I love educating people. And I just went, great, well, let's do it. And so before we knew it, we were in the recording studio, or we're in the studio with a team of videographers recording all of the work. And I don't know if you've done our first aid, Alex, but it is so engaging. There's a whole section on just dance specifics. And we're always referring, the thing that we're working on to the studio or to our dancers. So it's like it's all very relevant to what we see in the studios. So we launched that business in July last year, and we've already put through 350 students and studio owners.
Wow.
So when I say students, I'm talking dance teachers
Yeah.
across Australia and studio owners as well. So the need is obviously there, and it is because it's so specific, it's really relatable, and the kind of feedback that we're getting from it has been extraordinary. The beauty about this is that we come to you. Like we'll fly Caitlin over to you and your team. So it's all sort of taken care of for you, and yes, you do have to cover the snakes and spider thing, even though
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
so snake phobic.
Let's have a chat about ADF. You are involved in ADF in many, many ways. How did you go about just turning up to ADF? Like, did you just rock up one day, or did you go, hey?
Oh, I knew nothing of ADF until probably 9 years ago. And then at that stage, I had a little business that was an app for dance practice. And I just went, okay, I'll buy a booth and see how I go.
Yeah.
Well, I went to this event, not ever have gone, never gone to a dance event before like that. Just went, holy heck, what is this place? And I connected with Angela, who is the director, CEO, founder of ADF, and we became instant great friends. And I
Yeah.
just said to her, "Look, if there's anything at all I can possibly do, and I presented on stage with Marco, in a sort of a panel, and she saw that, and Marco saw that, and they just both went, "Oh, she presents really well." The next year, I sponsored the teachers room. She decided that instead of having like a Friday teachers day, that there should be a constant flow of teachers coming through a specific room, which I was the face of, and I sort of facilitated. But I actually didn't know that I was facilitating that until
I know.
probably a couple of days beforehand, because I just thought I'm the sponsor and it'll all just take care of itself.
Yeah.
Well, then I then ended up facilitating, and I didn't stop. Like everybody that came to that room felt like they were being heard, felt like they were being served. As far as the information that they wanted, it was all there because I don't know. I just feel like, the conversations that we had on the panels were always really relevant to the studio owner, because I had my studio owner hat on
Yeah.
the whole time. And so so we kind of developed it from there, and we went from having, we would just have conversations about things to really strategizing what the studio owner really and the teachers in the studios really would love to hear about. And so Angela and I used to spend a lot of time really working on what their needs were, what their wants were, and the what's in it for me,
Yeah.
for all of the teachers and the studio owners. And it kind of evolved from there. So I've been in the most fortunate position where I've interviewed people like Jason Coleman, Lucinda Dunn, Kelly Abbey, Alex Medinsky, like all of the really juicy names in the industry
Yeah.
I've been beside and I've spoken with
Wow.
because of the teachers' room, and the amount of really gorgeous information that we've shared together on these panels has been just incredible. And so then, of course, all of that's embedded within our courseware. But yeah, so I've been involved with the ADF for the Australian Dance Festival for about 9 years. Last year I took a bit of a break, but I was still supporting as much as I possibly could. But we're back in the teachers' room this year, you and I, and I'm really excited
I'm
about that.
clapping.
Yes, yeah, and so we've designed the program to be really rich for the dance teacher and the studio owner, and there's a good balance between those two elements. There's going to be some really gorgeous sessions from Justin. Every time Justin walks into that room and presents, Alex, I don't know whether you've seen him present, but every time we have the conversation with Justin, there you can't hear a pin drop. No one coughs. Everyone leans
Oh,
forward on their chair and takes copious amounts of notes. And then there's questions, and like such a rich conversation with him. We've also got, we're lining up a whole stack of mentors that can that you can ask anything of, including myself. So, if anybody's got any questions that they want to sort of
they
pick my
can
brain.
come to you. I think I'll even come to, I think we
Oh,
we need to
really?
have a chat. Yeah, no. I know
Great.
I'm really excited because all these mentors are just everyone that I've spoken to is just incredible. And like you said earlier, everyone is different. There's enormous amount of information for everybody, and you don't need to gatekeep that information. So I think definitely there's going to be people, studio owners and dance teachers that are going to come in, and no matter who you are or where you are on your journey, there's going to be a mentor or someone that you can connect with and talk to depending on where they are if they've
Yeah,
just started their studio or if they've been running for 20 years, there's someone like you that they could speak to. But then there's still people like Justin and Karen who have information with behavioral management as well. There's something for everyone. Sorry to butt in, but there is literally something for
no,
everybody.
yeah, no, and I love that you butted in because it means that we're both so excited about it.
Yeah, I'm
And
so
and
excited.
and if we're excited about it, then everyone should come because yes, it's ADF is so great at what, for us to compare our students with other studios students. It's really great for us to sit back in the auditorium and or the bleachers and watch what our students are doing and how they cope in that environment. But wouldn't it be great if we kind of went, let's take the focus off the students and
Yes.
let's put the focus on ourselves? And wouldn't it be great if we had a balance of that where some sessions we go and watch our students
Yeah.
and other sessions we watch ourselves and we learn for ourselves.
Learn.
And just bearing in mind that yes, these workshop presenters are incredible and they build their energy so massively and it's wonderful to watch. But we too need that kind of
We need to fill our cup
um,
as well. We often forget about us. We're always all about the kids, aren't we? It's like,
yeah,
are the kids happy? Is the parents happy? Are they all together? Have they gone to the toilet? Have they got their shoes? I think it's really important that we also sit back for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour even, and fill that cup back up with information so we can help these kids, teach these kids and guide them.
absolutely. And I think, that's exactly the reason why I have got two staff members that bring my group over and they just look after them, they feed them, they do all of that. And so I can actually be present in the room and I know that my other team, a group of team members can be present as well and really get as much out of the teachers room as possible. The teachers room is like it's like stepping into a pot of gold, and if you really embrace that, then you will walk out of there feeling like you're in a community and feeling like you've got the support if you need it just at your fingertips. And for me, that is the most important thing for our studio owners and for our dance teachers to know
Yes.
that they've got support. And it doesn't matter if, that support is on the other end of the phone or on a Zoom call or whether it's face to face. That's what the ADF Teachers Room really
Mm.
encompasses and embraces. And I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh,
Mm,
yes. I think last year was my first year going to ADF and the teachers' room as well. And I've still got connections that I speak to regularly who I met because of the teachers' room. I didn't meet them down on the floor. I didn't meet them for the workshops or sitting there in the workshops because, like you said, that's great. But it was from walking into the teachers' room that we found these connections with each other. And it was just those little stories or those little events and pain points that you go, oh, you know what, I've had troubles with, doing this, and this, or behavior management, or with this parent. And then you watch everyone's heads turn and go, oh, I've got that problem too. It's like, oh, okay, I thought I was alone, but I'm not. I'm not
yeah.
alone. We can talk about it and sort of bond over it, but then also find solutions, give solutions to each other. So I know a lot of my friends that I met, teachers and dance studio owners are coming back. So I'm excited. It's the one place, one time a year that we sort of all come together. We just come for the teachers room. We just come there and
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
reconnect. It's
And
phenomenal.
Alex, the other beautiful thing about the teachers' room is that, like, I'm a naturally shy person, and so
Oh,
stepping into a teachers' room like that and not being allocated a job or, just being there by myself, is would be a real challenge for me. But I know now that I know what happens in that room and the
yes.
kind of nurturing that happens, um, it's it's a place where even the shyest of the shy can step in and sit in the back row and still feel like they're being embraced. So it's a place where you don't have to be, loud and proud studio owner. You can
No.
actually just go, I am just who I am, and I just want to have a bit of information. So there's information for everybody, regardless of your your personality type or your your studio journey. Yeah,
Yeah. I will catch you at ADF in September.
you will, Alex. Yeah, I can't wait.